You are now listening to the Fast Food Podcast.
I spoke to Drizzy a couple of days ago, and I said to him, haven't we spoken about this enough already? And haven't we seen enough reactions online? Haven't a lot of things been addressed? Drizzy said to me, no, bro, we can still talk about it on Sunday.
I mean, a few things have happened since then.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because parallel to what's going on now with this, there's another actor who's in more passer. He's in so much passer, he might be let in the Jamaican borders. You know Ezra Miller, who plays the Flash?
Yeah.
He's in the Fantastic Beast things. I'm not gonna play the race card here. I'm just gonna leave it to you guys' own interpretation.
Yeah.
So you got the Will Smith situation, which we're gonna dissect. Now this guy here, Ezra Miller, I think he was filming in Hawaii or something like that. You know, imagine if Denzel Washington has just landed in London, you bopping down the same street as Denzel, and you're like, oh snaps, Uncle D, Uncle Denzel. And he goes, hey man, what's up? He goes, yeah, I'm just here trying to organize a situation, like they had a hotel booked for me, it's fully booked, blah, blah. And you go, I mean, yo, Denzel, I got a spare room at my place, you know, if you need to crash here while you saw it, and he's all right, cool. So we're gonna run with that narrative, yes, but it's with Ezra Miller. So imagine someone houses you at their place, you're an actor, you're a big time actor, go karaoke, you get intoxicated because you got a real issue with drinking. Drink, and then your aggressive side just comes out. You start threatening people, this, that, and the third. You get arrested for disorderly order, right? Mm-hmm. All while what's happening on Sunday night happens, yeah? Mm-hmm. They're kind of hush-hushing that. Then it comes out days later, and it's days after the situation at the Oscars, where we're now finding out this guy who's fronting two tempo franchises in the Fantastic Beasts, and where's the final, and the Flash. We're finding out this guy threatened to kill the guy's wife. He called her the S word that ends with a T. He said he's gonna bury her.
What?
He's gonna kill, bruv. So this is all happening, and I'm like, why on God's green earth is the Will Smith thing getting way more attention than this Donnie here, who's known to have been seen on camera choking women, or choking a woman, I should say. How's that getting more attention than someone threatening to kill someone who got arrested, who got bailed out, this, that, and the third? Make it make sense. But then I'm like, it's probably not a black thing. It's probably because Will Smith's a big star.
Yep. One of the biggest.
I'm just saying.
The biggest.
Okay.
Right. In terms of his star meter, he's the biggest. He's the biggest,
star in the world, man.
Right. I didn't know. I invited you here today, not off the back of this situation. You was always going to be here today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? But the fact of the matter that you was here today is one of the questions I want to ask you. Mm-hmm. As a comedian, I believe this, but I want to know what your train of thought is. Is comedy and the way that you, as artists and comedians, address the crowd, address celebrities, address people in front of you on stage, is there a level playing field when it comes to the banter and the jokes that you performed towards them?
Yeah, I believe there is, because if you're a celebrity, you just need to know that you're exposed, right? So every last thing that you do is magnified times 100. Now, Chris Rock has a reputation of being very outspoken, quote unquote controversial and stuff like that. And I believe that what he said wasn't really said. I mean, I think it was a little bit irresponsible given the nature of it, but at the same time, he's a comedian.
Right. Jada.
Yeah.
I love you, G.
Can I just quickly say, sorry to interject, right? Now,
Yeah.
big up Kevin Samuels for this, right? Because he let in a little thing where he literally had someone film Jada. I wouldn't say it was him himself.
Yeah.
There was a picture of Jada laughing.
Yep.
When Will Smith actually went and hit.
I saw it. I saw that.
Chris Rock.
She nodded.
And she was like, okay, thank you, Will. Your work has been done.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So, I mean, breaking all that down, I just think to myself, look, as a comedian, yeah, there are certain boundaries and people are sensitive to certain issues. I totally get that.
Yeah.
But take into consideration, this is the Oscars.
Yeah.
Chris Rock has poked fun over many people over the years. Will Smith started out in a comedic fashion himself, so he should be aware of that kind of sensibility.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. I don't care what no one says to me.
Yeah.
That is not enough
Absolutely not.
of a jab for you to walk up on stage and slap someone in the face.
Absolutely.
It's not enough.
And you know what as well?
It's not enough.
A massive shout out to Tony Rock as well. Big shout out to Tony Rock, because Tony Rock, I believe, well, from what I've seen so far, I mean, obviously he's Chris Rock's brother, but he was really outspoken about it. I mean, if you ever go on Comedy Hype, so I have to big up Comedy Hype because I watch Comedy Hype a lot. There was literally a picture of footage of his set where he went up and he spoke about it briefly before. And again, he put it into perspective. It's like you go on stage and you hit my brother, and it's almost like you can resonate with that.
Yeah.
It's so, and the thing is as well, what's so surreal about it is it's so out of character for Will.
Yeah.
What demons are at play? It's out of character.
Trim, how do you feel?
I'm still perplexed by that.
How do you feel in terms of, when he was talking about protecting his family and he gave that speech afterwards because he was still in the building after all of that and picked up his Oscar, which I believe he still deserved because in my opinion, outside of what he'd done, he's earned enough. He's got enough cachet in my...
Absolutely.
Like Will Smith is like one of the biggest people I've ever respected from a kid. Yeah. Like he's done more than enough creatively and as an artist to earn that right.
Yeah. He's a superstar. He's a bona fide superstar.
The thing is though, is when he spoke about protecting his family, I personally didn't buy that bullshit. I personally didn't buy that bullshit. I don't know how you felt, Trim. How did you feel about it?
I just tried to put myself in his shoes, and I tried to look at because the only person that knows what Jada's going through behind closed doors is him, the family, whoever else is in that space. And I think that it's easy for everybody else to kind of nod and prod and judge them, because what they've done is they've put everything out in the open, whereas before they were probably one of the most, well kept and proud about family. Exactly, but because they felt like they were losing traction in the whole, thing, because he was the highest paid actor in the world, and then that being secret and that mystique was what was giving him that, including his talent. But because social media changed everything, it was like, you're losing traction now. What are we doing as a family? We need to come out and be a powerhouse, just like the Kardashians, just like this, just like that. So this is where I felt like they flopped and they kind of shot themselves in the foot. But again, back to what I was saying about the fact that only they know what Jada's going through as far as this thing with alopecia. It might really, really be affecting her. And a lot of people see it as nothing. It don't mean nothing. It's a small joke and whatever. But some of the smallest things bug us. Not because, forget being a celebrity. Chuck all of that out. But just us. There's things that bug me. That people are like, why did you act like that for? Fucking hell, Trim. And I act big. When I do something that pisses me off, I find it very difficult not to blow up. Hence the reason why I like to meditate and do different things.
Yeah.
Because I know how I react to stuff. I hate it.
Sure.
And not only that, but people are like, because you do that, you're big and black and whatever.
True. We come from a place,
Let me finish.
Go on.
Basically, all I'm saying is we don't want to, and this is another thing that's pissing me off. People don't want to empathize with Jada. Because they don't fucking like her. No, but she's hold on a minute.
Why should
because
we?
She's done.
Why should we?
Do what you want.
No, I'm asking you the question.
No, it's. I understand. It's up to you whether you like.
No,
her
I'm asking the question.
Right?
Why should we empathize with Jada Pinkett because she has alopecia? I'm asking you the question.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Why should we empathize with people because they got cancer? Why should we empathize because someone's kid died? Why should we empathize because I was driving down the M25 and I ran over a pheasant? Why should we just?
Is
It's just natural.
Is alopecia a life or death situation?
It's got nothing to do with life or death. It's about what you just mentioned a minute ago about. Minute. It's about empathy. You were speaking about empathy. So if you want to run this empathy lane, be empathetic. You can choose as and when. But listen, what I'm explaining is,
go on.
A lot of people because they don't like her, but it could have been someone else. And then everything would have been different. Right. People would have treated her differently.
You know what? Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Let me finish.
I'm not blaming. I'm not saying you're the bad guy. I'm not saying you're the bad. I'm not saying everything.
Why I keep asking the question about why should we? Yeah. I'm not saying that we shouldn't. What I'm saying to you is, we all got our problems, bro.
Yeah.
We've all got situations in our life that that really affects us in our day-to-day lives, We've all got situations what we go through where we look back and we go, raw, do you know what, that really affected me, and obviously that's kind of molded the type of person I am today, because I can name situations that that shit has happened to me and my life has been affected by it with family members and situations like that. But do you know what, bro? You lot don't have to care. You don't have to, because you're not going through it. It's none of your business.
Yeah.
And if I choose to put that information out into the world, I've got to expect a certain pushback on it. Because Jada Pinkett has also come out and said she doesn't care. Like she's got alopecia. It's not a life and death thing. No. She's rocking it. And she's gonna own it, fight it, and bring awareness to other people who have alopecia.
And that's fine.
And that's cool. But my thing is, don't sit at the award ceremony with your hair scrape off in the thing, and don't expect a comedian to say to you, oh, rare. G.I. Joe 2 is coming out, because what happens to
it's jesty.
What happens? Let's do this. What about fat jokes at comedy shows and Oscars and global? What about short jokes?
Ricky Gervais.
What about short jokes? But people are affected by being short.
100%.
People don't like. I know everybody who was short don't like being short. No. They will tell you, but bro, you're 4'2", my G.
Yeah.
And it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. So what I'm saying to you is, it's cool to do the empathy thing,
right?
And it's a nice thing to be empathetic. That's not always human nature, but it's a nice thing to be, right? Yeah. But my thing is like when you are when you are a public figure, and you give the public so much transparency. This is what's happening to them. What is happening to them is they've been so transparent with their lives that now they're looking crazy. So then when you look crazy and then you feed into the craziness by slapping somebody on stage at a show, at an award show,
it's a volcano.
It's like okay, cool. This is clearly something that Will Smith is struggling with in his own life now, because I feel like this is a crescendo. This is like I don't even think it was about Chris Rock. I don't even think it was about him.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
It wasn't been said.
But do you know what the problem is, and what I've noticed a lot of people doing is talking about Jada's issue, but it's almost like they're blaming her for Will's actions. Will's the one. Hold on a minute. Now.
It is her.
No. She's got the issue. She's sitting down there. She was pissed off about it. Did she get up and slap Chris Rock? No, I'm asking. Did she?
No, it's not that. It wasn't her place to do that. It wasn't even Will's place to do that.
I didn't say it was, but Will was the person that got up and done it.
Yeah.
What if Will sat down and didn't do? There'd be nothing to talk about.
I think what confused people was the fact that Will was laughing.
he was laughing, and he caught himself. You know what I mean? He caught himself and went, "Oh shit!" Because he's realizing, she's actually affected by this shit. Do you know what? I'm not having it anymore. Chris has done this before. I'm gonna go and stand up for my wife. But what it was is he got caught up because he's the one that tries to go into this whole self-discipline, this my mindfulness, my this, my that, and whatever. You get what I'm saying? This is a big thing for him. But what he's done is he's gone and jumped up out of emotion, bucks my man in the face, and almost felt like I told her I'd defend or I'd be there for the family.
This is what I'm sick and tired of.
But he's responsible for that, not her.
This is what I'm sick and tired of, bro. And I'm talking to every man in this room.
Yeah.
And please understand when I say this that it resonates with you. And if you don't feel the same way I do, then cool. But understand, I don't rate no woman putting any battery in a man's back to go and do something like what Will Smith did that night. If you think that my wife would endorse that, think again. If you think that having a woman stand by your side and endorse you going to fight another man, whether it's at an award show or on the street, that's not the one for you, bro. And I would question your choices 1,000%, because he sat there, he laughed it off. He looked at his wife, and his wife went, huh?
Is she all right to be upset about that?
No, she's not. She
was laughing afterwards.
She laughed.
Happened, she was
but
laughing,
hold on a minute. You are the man in a relationship, and this is why where I'm getting down the road of emasculation when women start emasculating us. We've had this whole conversation at the beginning of the show about red flags and what we choose and who we want to be around and the women that we associate with and what we identify with. Yeah. For me, that is a massive red flag when your wife is pushing you into the lion's den. Now, let me talk about this, bro. You went up on stage, you slapped a man. A slap to me is even worse than a punch for me. Slapping somebody is disrespectful, bro. Yeah. It's like you don't even care. Will Smith is much bigger. Is
more combative.
It's more combative. It's like let's go.
Yeah.
Will Smith is a much bigger man size-wise than Chris Rock. True. Also, Chris Rock is non-confrontational. Chris Rock is not a confrontational man.
Nah, he uses his mouth
his words. Yeah.
He's not.
I've seen and to be mean.
I've seen conversations. I've seen conversations with Chris Rock on Howard Stern and many other different places where he was bullied in school.
Absolutely.
But we don't care about that.
Yeah.
No one's talking about being empathetic to Chris Rock and the fact that he got beaten up every day in school, hung upside down. Bullied. Apparently, he almost got raped.
Yeah. And the thing about Chris Rock, what I have to really respect about the way he dealt with that, I have to commend him on his professionalism. You know,
he was very professional.
Absolutely.
The guy, he really.
I still question whether it's real.
You see, well, again, that's debatable. But for me, his star meter has gone up now even more because of the fact that happened, and he could have reacted in a number of different ways.
Absolutely.
Or another person could have reacted in a number of different ways.
Agreed.
But the way he just kind of really used his experience, the fact that he's been a big show host many times before, he's toured around the world, to be like, you know what? Okay, so it's like that.
He felt like he was doing his job.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Latif, he was doing his job.
And I kind of felt, I saw his vulnerability.
He went to work.
Yeah, I saw his vulnerability.
And got attacked.
I actually felt sorry for him a little bit.
How'd you go to work and get attacked?
Yeah.
He got paid to do that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was hosting a show. That was the section he was presenting. And the fact of the matter is as well, that whole situation actually took the gloss off everybody else. Look at Questlove. Questlove got an Oscar. Do you know no one's speaking about Questlove's Oscar.
People didn't even realize who. Apparently, Denzel gave Samuel L. Jackson an award. That went over all right.
No one saw that.
I don't know about that.
Because my thing is, someone who's selfish enough to use what is going on in his house to attack someone else for nothing.
Yeah, so do you think he thought about it before he did it?
For me, he was wrong for that, man.
He got back. His wife made him do it.
Yeah,
how did your wife make you do something,
bro? Can
your wife make you do something?
Bro, there's people in the morgue because their wife told them to do something.
I'm asking, but you have to make the decision.
I'm talking.
You have to make the decision.
But what it is, what I'm thinking is, right? I think Jada,
whether you decide or not, you decide.
Yeah, but Jada did allude to a lot of his actions. You can even see by the whole setup of it all. The camera pans to Will Smith. Will Smith is laughing, jovial, right? It pans back to Chris Rock again, right?
Yeah.
Now it doesn't pan back to Jada, so I don't know what that was all about, but I was so happy that Kevin Samuels has got that exclusive footage of her laughing when Will Smith done that.
Yeah.
So what that would tell anybody is she was like, you know what, go get him. And then Will Smith was like, "Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do that, Jada." And this comes down,
simp,
and right. And I think what this is
that's simp mentality.
I think this comes down to way back when Jada and Tupac had that thing going on, and Will thinking he was always inadequate to that masculine alpha energy.
But he chose to stay. Who's accountable for Will's actions? Jada
is a witch.
Will's no man.
Jada is a witch. To me, she's a sorceress.
That he did there.
To me,
he stayed. That sounds simpy to me.
Well,
she's
that's arguable as well, bro.
Do any person that's accountable for all of this? I don't give a fuck. If we're talking about being men, real men handle their shit. Real men are accountable and say, "Do you know what? I did it. Fuck whatever. Whether there was some kind of spice or whatever, she got me riled up and got me into it. I still decided to do it.
Yeah, it was him that had done it.
That's a
true.
real man.
But
nah, she's a bitch.
She's a bitch. Yeah, so what? We know bare gallus bitches.
But she's
we've been in relationships with rare bitches.
But what we're talking about here is we're talking about somebody who's gone to an award ceremony to win an Oscar. He doesn't need the devil around to
leave them. As a man,
Denzel Washington said it to him.
Yeah.
At these times, at these moments in your life, the devil is coming for you.
Listen,
right?
Do you think he don't know? You don't see, bro.
Clearly he doesn't. Because he's had his missus. Clearly he doesn't, because he's had his missus getting piped out by his son's brethren.
Yeah.
He's had his missus go on red table talks and emasculating him time after time after time again. Yeah. And I'm sure they've had conversations as a couple to say, you know what? Because if I turn around to my wife and say, babe, that's the last time you say that to anyone. Make sure nothing comes out like that again. Make sure you don't tell no one, and none of our personal, intimate business ever goes anywhere again. That's it. If I keep hearing it, then if I keep hearing it and it's not getting through, this is destroying the man. This is destroying Will Smith.
So would you stay?
Well, I'm not staying, but
it's marriage, isn't it? You can't just walk away from it.
I'm not staying, but they've got kids and they're trying to. Will Smith has verbatim said before he doesn't believe in divorce.
No.
And things of that nature.
I think they've got a different kind of relationship anyway. They've got this side.
They got an open relationship.
So then, if you've got an open relationship, you can't box nobody for nothing. Not true, because everyone was like, "Why didn't he box the guy?"
Yeah.
Then August Sina becomes not the singer, the R&B artist. He becomes the guy that Will Smith boxed. He'd be famous. He'd be more famous for Will Smith boxing him than his music. You think Will Smith wants to give him that? Because
to be honest,
Jay's had battles and he's been at people, and people have been at Jay for stuff, and he was like, whatever. Yeah. Why? Because he didn't want to give them that. Because then they be the guy that Jay decided to go for.
And that's why his stuff still stands now, because he eradicated all of those distractions and focused on what he needed to do. And I think with Will, again, I just felt that his whole dealing of the situation.
I don't agree with what he did.
It could have been a lot better.
I don't agree with what he did.
Let me.
I just want to know what Drizzy thinks. Let me bring
Drizzy into the conversation. Drizzy, not 1 second. I'm saying to you, Will Smith shouldn't have slapped Chris Rock for how he felt about protecting his family. My thing is, he could have gone backstage. He could have waited at the after party. This is not two people that don't know each other. These people, they are interlinked. This is the elite level Hollywood stars. They know each other. Chris Rock has been in Will Smith shows. They've done things together. They've associated together. So whether they've had the conversation before about cussing, Chris Rock is still doing his job. 1, 2, you could have gone backstage, closed the room, and said, "Bro, what
again?
What's going on, bro?
You're on it again."
Give Chris Rock the opportunity to go, bro. I'm sorry, or give him the opportunity to say, "I don't give a fuck, bro."
Yeah, we can judge and say that as well. We don't know how we would have reacted,
and then we do what we're doing. But this is my thing is that a ceremony. All right, this is what I keep hearing as well, and this needs to stop. oh, they did it in front of white people.
Who cares?
The fuck does that mean?
Right, holy crawling. No one gives a shit.
No one cares.
No one gives a shit.
Because no one's talking about it like, oh, two black guys.
No one
It's
gives a
Will
shit.
and it's Rock.
Yeah.
But for me,
Transcends race.
but for me, those two are black men, and that was a moment. Even with the organizer, Will Packer, black man, he put this together. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for what he was trying to achieve that day. Even the actual host of the show, what's her name?
Amy Schumer and they had a few other-
Wanda.
Yeah.
Even for them. So
Sykes,
this is clearly a big moment. After the last time it was like Oscar so white, all of that kind of shit. Like this was time to celebrate. You get me? We know the situation. We know what the system's like. We know this is a fraternity. Yeah. We know this is, we're letting you in. We know all of that. But I don't give a fuck. Will, bro, and then you didn't apologize to man in your speech.
Only to the academy.
Bro, interject, bro. Interject. I've had enough. Bro.
You cool off of it, yeah?
Yeah, go for it.
I've just been, you cool?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to sit here and tell a married man how he needs to react in regards to his wife. I'm not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I will listen to what you say, because you obviously are the married one in the crew. Yeah. So I'll listen to what you say. In my humble opinion, do I agree with what Will done? No. If I was Will, because hindsight's a beautiful thing, and I'm sure if he could go back in time, he'd go, all right, the warnings I gave you after I did what I did, I would have given that to you first, and then if you carried on, I would have then walked up and slapped you. No one to say nothing. I gave you 2 warnings. Keep my wife's name out of your mouth. That's the censored version, but we know it went. Give you those 2 warnings. Then you carry on. Boom! But I don't know what is going on in his head at that time. We've all laughed at jokes that are inappropriate, and then someone checks you. Your brethren, they talk, and you're like, sorry. It's his wife. We don't know, and Trim alluded to this earlier, we don't know how behind closed doors Jada is dealing with this alopecia. Because the irony is, Chris is saying a joke about her hair. Yeah. You do your Googles right now. Chris did a documentary about hair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Many years ago. Yeah. So if anything, he should be a bit more aware of
understanding
that situation. Especially to our sisters, hair is a big thing.
Absolutely.
Lauren Hill brought a mad attention to it, something like it, which she said, you're doing this to look European.
Yeah.
Embrace how your hair naturally is. Mm-hmm. I don't know what she's going through behind closed doors. All I know is from what I've seen, she's been a big she's been a big advocate for this thing, right? This alopecia thing.
Yeah.
Now, I think she's been an advocate for it because she's like, this is a very big thing amongst women, and especially amongst our fellow sisters, queens, wherever you describe them, they're very, very sensitive, and it's a very big deal about their hair. So behind closed doors, I don't know how she's dealing with it. Right now, in regards to Rock, did Rock deserve that?
No,
absolutely. But at the same time, in the heat of the moment, you only think of one thing: flashing lights. Boom, boom, boom,
it was a shit joke,
right? But the thing is, though, one, I'm hearing it wasn't his joke. Someone wrote it for him.
Oh,
I know Chris looks at stuff. He would have been like, "Who's that for?"
No, they said he freestyled it.
Okay, cool. If he freestyled it, that makes it even worse because for me, there's a million jokes you could have said at Jada's expense.
Funny.
And that wouldn't have happened to you. Yeah. For example, I'm no comedian, even though I like to think I am. Because I bust 1-2 little jokes. This guy laughs at them a lot, so I like to think I hold a bit of cachet. But I'm no Latif, because Latif is big in the game. Jada Pinkett Smith was in The Last Matrix. That film is getting busted down at how shit it was. Chris,
go for it.
Yep.
You could have just
said
to her,
open season.
You could have just said to her, Jada, how big was the bag to get you to appear in such a bad movie?
Knowing how many scripts she's done, know how shit it was.
You see what I'm saying? Like you could have run that joke.
Easy.
And she would have laughed at it and been like, it was really big, Chris. And everyone laughs off and then maybe Will might have been like, hey, you got us a new home or something like that.
Yeah.
Kept it moving.
Yeah.
But again, I'm going to reiterate, I don't think he warranted getting slapped. But at the same time,
didn't.
There's a million
I
other
feel
jokes
I feel like that's an excuse though.
What's that?
Yeah, we make excuses every fucking day.
Like I'm going through something and I can't be laughed about it.
Okay, but at the same
That's
time,
such
bro,
a natural reaction, don't you
at the same
think?
time, like, I don't know how women feel who are going through dealing with that. Is it
not
life
about
threatening?
Jada,
As
it's
far as
about
I'm aware,
Will.
I'm not sure. But the thing is, I just feel in that moment, Will felt that was the thing to do. Now, I'm going to give Will a blight because it is so out of character for Will.
Absolutely.
It's not something he's done multiple times. Like, oh my gosh, this guy just keeps.
He's not
slapping
Will.
people,
He's not
whatever.
Will Ye.
Yeah,
He's not Will Ye.
exactly. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm
So
saying.
when people are like, let's cancel him and all that, it's like, for what? He had one blip in regards to on the public stage. With the August stuff, we don't know what conversations took place behind closed doors. We don't know.
I think it was more about Will. I just think
I'm
Right.
telling
I just think it was
you.
his statement saying to the world, yeah, you
Keep
guys
going.
were laughing at me when Jada was doing all this thing. Like,
Right.
I'm a man now. I'm going to show you guys
Okay.
how I really
You saw the
roll.
way he walked
And-
off.
You know what I mean?
You saw the way he walked. He's actually struggling mentally.
And-
Yes, that's what's happening.
Yeah, I think
The
he's
other
up
thing
there.
was-
so then
Might be
why are
having
we
a breakdown.
surprised about
This
what the
isn't the
fuck
first
happened?
time at the expense of Jada, Chris Rock has made jokes at the Oscar. Because when
He loves it.
through the peak of the whole
He
Oscar
thrives
So
off it.
White, they
He
were
was rinsing.
two of the most vocal voices in that whole movement.
Yeah.
Do you know what
Rock
I'm
was
saying?
rinsing them times. He
So
was
I'm
rinsing.
just saying, again,
Yeah.
as I said before I started, I am not a married man. I've been in situations where I've defended a female, and whether she was my girl or not, I've
Yeah.
defended her because I felt at the time that was what was required.
Yeah.
But there are different ways to do it.
Did you hear what? Okay, so he won an Oscar.
Yeah.
For
King
King
Richard.
Richard.
Yeah.
He said in his speech, "I did that because King Richard would have done that." King Richard came out 2 days later and said, "I wouldn't have done that."
That's
his
fine.
perception.
Yeah.
Don't
You're
use
entitled
my,
to your opinion.
so don't use my name then for that. Don't use my
Again?
name. Don't use my name for
Scapegoating.
for scapegoating
All right.
a decision that you made to
Okay.
box a man in his face at the
All
Oscars.
right. Have you seen King Richard?
Yeah. Have you seen that?
Okay.
Would you leave your ute down the road, drive off?
Where?
Ask me that. I want to know. Would you
Where-
do that? Just get in the car and drive off down
I've
the
heard
road
it
and leave
happen.
the utes then?
I've heard it happen before. I've heard.
Would you? I didn't ask
I
that.
don't know. I don't know.
Okay, same way you don't know if we would have.
But the thing is, with him coming out and saying that,
Relative.
it's
I
like,
wouldn't have done that.
it's like, okay, I understand you coming
'Cause
out
I can
and
take
protecting-
jokes.
protecting your name, but at the same time, we saw in the video, in the movie, sorry, where you were kind of almost dismissive about some of your kids, and you was very yummy, I'm the good dad with the kids you've got with this woman, but those that was outside of this relationship, you was kind of like, I don't want you to come in and mess up what I've got going on.
yeah.
So don't try and paint yourself like you're the saint, holier than
You're
thou.
holier than thou.
I agree.
No, and I agree what you're saying.
Yeah.
But you interrupted a interview with your child, which was Venus. You interrupted that interview to tell the reporter, don't ask her, why are you asking these questions? Why are you doubting and questioning what she's saying in regards to her ability
to her
and this and that
defense.
for? You're coming to your daughter's offense. You didn't slap him.
No.
But you're coming to, and at the time, you
If
thought
he
that was
had
the right thing
pushed,
to do.
he would have slapped.
Right.
If he had pushed, slap.
Right. So
I understand that.
in that case, it's just he's given
Maybe
a
it's different
warning.
if it's your ute.
Will Smith assaulted somebody, guys.
Okay, no, I understand.
Is
that,
there
but
any
that's-
circumstance where you would assault someone for troubling your ute?
He assaulted somebody because it was a joke that was run. I'm tired.
You're missing the point.
No, I'm not missing any point. I'm tired because we run joke, and if you run joke, and Drizzy, if you come here one day and I run a joke, right?
Yeah.
Whether I know about it or not, you know in my heart, as long as you've known me, it's not from a malicious place. It's from a place of banter
Chris Ross would be
and
malicious?
bro. Okay,
Don't.
wait,
Alright.
hold on.
I think it was ad-lib.
Must-
I think it was
okay.
a preordained joke.
Yo, I've got a brother in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I run him about him being in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Wheels.
Your brother. You run your brother.
Wait.
Bro, no, wait.
You
But
run your brother.
hold on. But my
Yeah.
brother is
Yeah.
not somebody that you can just run joke with Viva. He's
No,
not.
definitely not.
Persona-wise, he's
Definitely
not.
Yeah, my brother's like that as well.
He ain't.
I could never.
He's
boy.
But he also understands the ramifications. He also understands the meaning of humor and laughter and joke and picking out. The thing about it is, right, these are celebrities that know that they are at the highest level, and they know when they go to an award ceremony, this is part
you're likely to get roasted.
This is part of it, because you're so high, we're going to bring you down. We're going to bring you all down on one level, and we're going to all clown you, and we're all going to go home. That's it.
But I think the difference is what you're saying is, that's your brother. Your brother knows your jokes are never, ever, ever, as long as the sun is shining, going to be malicious.
Right, I hear you.
That's your brother.
Like Chris Rock and Will Smith. Will Smith is a humorous, runs joke all the time.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, ran joke on everybody in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
You're right.
Knows his brethren, Chris Rock, runs joke on everybody.
Right.
So you can't then sit there and laugh about any. You can't laugh at anyone else. You can't sit there.
You're right.
You're right.
If you can't,
you're right.
You can't sit and laugh at anyone.
What's the point? We're wasting our time,
bro. But all I'm saying is, I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and tell a married man how to react in a situation regarding his wife. That's all I'm saying.
We're people. Forget married. Just get rid of all of it.
Yeah.
Celebrity, status, likable, not likable, any of those things. And just put it on the level I understand that people do stupid things, and that's the way it goes sometimes.
Okay, but I think Jada's ego was hurt back at the height of them advocating that the Oscars need to be more diverse when Chris made the joke about
and not being invited.
Let's be honest, you weren't invited. That's like me in regards to thinking about Rihanna's panties. I was never invited. And that's like, bro, you're kicking down her at the expense of another black woman. I think that obviously was lingering on the head. Like, I remember when you...
Chris Rock's brother... All right, let's conclude this, because we have another guest.
All right.
In conclusion, Will's sins is ultimately going to punish him going forward.
And how that's going to... I'll just quickly piggyback on how I think that's going to happen now. It's like, okay, cool. You look at the Academy Awards, right? And you look at actors who didn't win Best Actor category awards, in particular Best Actor category awards, right? You think, oh, Denzel should have won it for Hurricane, or Will should have won it for Ali, this, that, the other. Most of the time, it's almost like you don't get that much opportunities to really have other additional lead role parts that are going to get you into the Oscar category, right?
Yeah.
Get you nominated or even get you revered like that.
Yeah.
I think in hindsight, Will Smith's going to look at this whole thing and say to himself, do you know something? When it's all said and done, am I going to be spoken about in the same way as Sidney Poitier, in the same way as Denzel Washington? And this was his moment to solidify that with that performance. Yeah. Because that performance was amazing.
Huge. Yeah. It's a brilliant. It is an amazing film.
That was as good as a performance that I've seen from any actor.
So do you think that
and people are going to remember that?
Do you think?
They're not going to remember that.
It's tainted.
They're not going to remember that.
The whole thing's tainted.
The circus,
I think it depends. Different strokes for different folks. Let's put it that way.
If I can't remember the other winners and nominees, no one's going to remember that.
So he's resigned.
You can say it, but that's not accurate.
So Trim, he's resigned from the awards.
Yes, he's resigned.
People are advocating he should lose his award.
I'll say why.
I am not entertaining that whatsoever.
I think that's nonsense.
Because he didn't win the award for being the perfect human in the world. He didn't win the award for best father of the day. He won the award for his role,
for that performance.
I don't want to dwell on that. I don't want to dwell on that.
He deserved the Oscar. To be a bit more mature.
He deserved the Oscar. He deserved the Oscar.
He made the wrong decision. But the reason why I say what you said because of how I feel, and I'm thinking, I don't think everybody's going to have the same train of thought or feel the same way about it. I think people might have a couple of different ways. Yeah. And I think that people that are interested in film and understand people's behaviour will only concentrate on the performance and still be like, do you know what, that's an amazing film. He's a dickhead, but the film's still banging.
That's actually true, because Marlon Brando had a lot of controversy.
He raped, apparently the director watched him rape that 19-year-old girl on set, and it's like, oh no, but this is good for the performance. Bro, if they take Will's Oscar away,
No.
there are a lot of Donnies
I
that
don't
will
care
be
if they
sweating.
do. They can't do that.
Because,
Even if they did,
you know what I mean?
but even if they did take it away, obviously it might bother him, but it doesn't bother me because the performance still remains.
But
there.
this is, but, all right, this
Can't take it away.
But, this
speak
is,
for itself,
but before
yeah.
we conclude, this is also that it could have ended up where Chris Rock. It could have ended up that Will Smith didn't even get his Oscar because LAPD walked in, went backstage and said to Chris Rock, "Do you want me to escort him
and he
out?"
said no.
And he said no. So it could have been where we're not even talking no more about Oscars. Man didn't even get to pick it up. So you have to give credence and credit to Chris Rock for that.
Absolutely.
What I want to say is we all make mistakes.
Total professional.
Let's because we need to wrap this up. Right. We all make mistakes. It's clear. We all go through certain things. And 1000%, I am not gonna stray away from Will Smith because of this. Will Smith has done way too much in my life for me to just dash him away. It's only disappointment.
Yeah,
and
I'm disappointed.
And I feel like I pray that whatever he's going through, he can find solace and he can, get back to where he was as a human being.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
clearly he's going through a lot of things.
Yeah.
And all I want to say is just like, look, just blessing to the family, to the Smiths
And the Rocks.
and the Rocks.
Yeah.
No one's immune to the trials and tribulations of life.
100%.
man.
And
Nobody,
we all get tested.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me wrap this
Negative.
up. Thank you for coming.
Thank you,
Appreciate
brother.
it, man. It's
Love,
been a pleasure.
Love.
You know what I'm saying?
Anytime, you're welcome. Anytime. There's going to be occasions where Trim can't make it.
Yeah.
And if you are available,
Yeah, man. No problem.
100%, because the conversation just flows.
Yeah, man.
Is there anything you need to tell anyone about? Anything up and coming?
I see a little tour. I saw you put up a little tour.
Yeah,
flyer.
that's my
I said,
gig list.
man.
Yeah, so I usually put up my my monthly gig list on my Instagram. So if you guys want to see me, I'm going to be in various places.
Let's do that.
In London, out of London, and stuff like that. And yeah, Afro Hair and Beauty. I'm about to be confirmed as the official host of that as well.
Come on.
So yeah, that should be
That's
nice.
what I'm talking about.
Big up Diana Dahlia PR, Stephen Jervis, Diana Dahlia are my PR people that are helping me out. And yeah, it's always a pleasure being on a Fast Food podcast.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, you done that,
Always
bro.
good, man.
Yeah,
Always good.
come on, we
Always
just keep
lovely.
it a buck, bro. We don't play no games. But yeah, thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Pause. And this is a Fast Food podcast. We bring you food for thought, soul food for the mind, and a feast for the palate. I want to thank Trimmer, who's got the keys to my bimmer, for coming along.
Respect.
I want to big up Sakafet Freckles, Mr. Drizzy.
hey.
Shout out to
Boop, boop,
Joe Montana, the cameraman.
Yep.
Love and support. I want to big up my son Shia, who's in the cut chilling. He's just been cool
Fully
the whole
chilling.
way through.
Ain't heard nose, expletives.
My
nothing.
Donny. We've got more content, but we're gonna sign out and then we'll keep it moving. All right, cool. Blessings, Fast Food Podcast,
Peace.
episode 3. Peace. I go by the name of Morgan Heights. Trimmer, who's got the keys to my bimmer. Drizzy, Sakafet, Freckles. We are back for a brand new season 5 of the Fast Food Podcast. Remember, it is available on all DSPs, iTunes, Spotify, Soundcloud, and Google Podcasts. Visual episodes are available on our YouTube channel. That is Fast Food Podcast TV. Peace. Yeah.